She won't say it out loud. She won't block you. Instead, she'll quietly give you the exact map of how little you matter, and you'll miss the signs if you keep waiting for fireworks. Watch this if you want to stop wasting time on women who are only polite, not present. Hey, today we're talking about something most guys ignore because it's not loud or dramatic. Rejection often comes dressed as maybe next time, I'm busy, or let's be friends. It's polite, it's soft, but it's real. I'll walk you through 7 things a woman does when she's not interested. These are the small moves that add up into a message. I don't want this. Learn them, accept them, and move on with your pride intact. No lectures, no blaming, just facts and a few stories to make it stick. 1, she makes time for everyone but you. Think about this. Time is the one thing we can never get back, yet it's also the easiest way to see where someone's priorities lie. If she can somehow always squeeze in coffee with her girlfriends, late night calls with co-workers, or hours scrolling online, but when you ask to meet, she suddenly becomes too busy, the answer is already in front of you. Nobody is permanently busy. People make time for what matters. That's the truth men avoid because it hurts. I once knew a guy who waited 3 months for next week. Every time he asked her out, she smiled, said maybe, and never followed through. Meanwhile, she'd be posting brunch photos, birthday nights out, or random drives with her friends. He convinced himself she just had a lot going on, but the reality, she simply didn't see him as important enough to carve time for. When a woman is interested, her schedule bends. She rearranges, she finds even 20 minutes to grab coffee. She texts back at midnight saying, I'm free tomorrow, want to meet? That's genuine. But when you're on hold while she lives her life fully elsewhere, that's disinterest written in bold letters. The worst mistake men make is confusing absence for mystery. They start believing she's just shy, or she'll come around if I prove myself. No, if she wanted you, she'd be there. That's it. Marcus Aurelius said, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Why waste it on someone who doesn't even spare 1 hour for you? Self-respect looks like walking away instead of chasing ghost appointments. And here's the strange part. When you stop waiting around for crumbs, you naturally attract women who show up with effort, because nothing is more magnetic than a man who values his time. 2, her words and actions don't match. This is one of the oldest tricks, but men keep falling for it. She says, you're amazing, I like you, or I've just been really busy. But when you look at her actions, they tell another story. She cancels plans last minute. She replies hours or days later. She avoids deep conversations. She treats you more like background noise than priority. I had a friend caught in this exact trap. She told him often, I'm really into you. Yet she flaked on dinner 3 times in a row and never once initiated a meetup. He clung to her words because they gave him hope. Her actions screamed no, but her lips whispered yes. That hope kept him stuck. Actions are the real language of interest. Words are cheap. Anyone can say nice things to keep the peace, to avoid hurting feelings, or to keep you as a backup. But behavior never lies. If her actions don't line up with her sweet talk, believe the actions. Stoics said it best. Don't argue with reality. Don't build your worth on contradictions. Interest is visible. When someone truly wants you, their actions and words align naturally. You won't have to decode them. 3, minimal effort. This one is painful because it's so obvious yet so easy to excuse. When she gives you one-word replies like K or LOL, takes 2 days to reply to a simple text, or shows zero enthusiasm in conversation, that's not a bug. That's the program. Minimal effort means she's doing the least possible to keep you around without committing to you. Maybe she answers because she doesn't want to look rude. Maybe she accepts a plan but never suggests one. Maybe she drops a heart emoji here and there to keep you guessing. But notice what's missing: energy, excitement, intention. I knew a guy who showered a woman with gifts and long texts. She responded with thanks and cool. He thought if he kept doubling down, she'd eventually see his value. But what really happened? She gave him even less respect. Why? Because when someone shows you they're not investing and you stay, you're teaching them they don't have to try. Effort is choice. A woman who wants you will look her best for you, ask about your day, laugh at your jokes, even fight with you sometimes because she cares. A woman who doesn't, she'll give you crumbs because crumbs are enough to keep you dangling. The lesson here, don't accept the bare minimum while giving your maximum. That's not love. That's convenience. 4. She never initiates. A woman who truly cares will sometimes text first, suggest plans, or send something random that reminds her of you. Interest makes people reach out. Even shy women do subtle things, a check-in, a picture, a little note. But if every call, every text, every plan starts with you, and if the whole thing dies the moment you stop, that's your answer. She's not invested. Men often excuse this by saying, she's not a texter or she's just shy. But here's the truth. No matter how shy, interest always finds a way out. If she wants you, she'll signal it somehow. If she doesn't, silence is the signal. One of the strongest things a man can do is stop initiating and see what happens. If she fills the gap, you know she cares. If she doesn't, accept it. Don't chase, don't explain, just let silence do the talking, because the man who stops overgiving discovers who actually values him. 5. Distracted presence. Here's the scene. You're sitting across from her, trying to talk, and she's scrolling her phone. Her eyes wander. She gives half answers. She laughs late because she wasn't really listening. She's there, but she's not with you. Men excuse this as stress or being tired, but here's the truth. When someone is genuinely drawn to you, their attention locks in. Even if the world is noisy, they'll make you feel like the moment matters. If she can't give you that, she's not into it. I've seen men on dates where the woman spent more time texting other people than engaging in the conversation, and yet they still begged for a second date. That's not persistence. That's betraying yourself. You shouldn't compete with her phone or distractions for her attention. If she wanted you, she'd give it freely. Presence is more than physical. It's emotional. If she's not fully there, accept that the bond isn't there either. 6. She avoids alone time. One-on-one time is where intimacy grows. When a woman likes you, she wants private moments, just the two of you. But if she always insists on group hangouts, public spaces, or suddenly invites others to join plans you made, that's a silent rejection. I knew a man who kept asking a woman for dinner. She always had an excuse, but the same week she was too busy, she was out with her friends. He thought if he asked the right way, she'd agree. The truth? She never wanted that closeness with him. Avoiding alone time is not about being shy. It's about not wanting intimacy. A woman who likes you will create chances to be alone with you, even small ones. Avoidance is rejection dressed politely. Don't beg for what's not freely given. 7. She's physically distant. Body language is raw truth. When someone's into you, they lean in, touch lightly, smile more, lock eyes. It's natural. You don't have to force it. When she keeps her arms crossed, avoids eye contact, hugs like she's afraid of closeness, or always keeps a barrier like her bag or phone between you, that's not shyness, that's disinterest. A woman who feels attraction will find reasons to close the gap. Even small touches like brushing against your arm are signs of comfort. If none of that exists, don't invent it in your head. The worst thing a man can do is confuse politeness with passion. Just because she laughs at your jokes or responds kindly doesn't mean she's into you. Attraction has a warmth, a spark, a pull. If you don't feel it, and if her body language says stay away, listen. Respect yourself enough not to chase someone who keeps you at arm's length. Men, the signs are never complicated. They're simple, but they hurt when you don't want to see them. A woman who doesn't want you will show you with her actions, by making no time, giving no effort, avoiding closeness, or keeping you at a distance. The real test of your strength is not in how long you can hold on, but in how quickly you can let go when the truth is in front of you. Remember this, you don't convince someone to like you. Attraction is never forced. A woman who truly wants you will meet you halfway. She'll give effort, she'll show warmth. If those things are missing, the best move is not to beg, not to explain, but to quietly step back and choose yourself. Because the man who respects himself enough to walk away is the man women can't forget. If you found this video eye-opening, don't forget to subscribe to Olivia Rose for more honest psychology breakdowns on relationships, attraction, and female behavior. Drop a comment below. Have you ever seen these signs in your own life? I'd love to hear your stories. And of course, share this with a friend who needs the reminder. Don't let him waste his time chasing dead ends.